into week 2 predictions. If you guys happen to miss the football team versus the Giants, it was a very exciting game, but we won't dive too much into that because we got Sunday games to talk about. And the first one we are going to kick off will be the Raiders versus the Steelers. Tim, give them your prediction.
Raiders, Steelers. With how the Raiders just played last week, I think they're going to ride that momentum and come right in there to the Steelers. It'll be another one of those close games. My problem with the Steelers is I just don't like their offense and how their offense kind of stacks up in ways against their defense. Now their defense will be able to keep them in the game. That way Ben can play to his strengths which is his experience and being able to deliver in the clutch. But having to rely on that for an entire season, you're going to have to figure out something quicker than you might think, because when it comes down to it and it comes to playoff time, they're not going to be able to pull off wins like that. But for this week, I'm definitely riding with the Raiders. Ugh, tastes like vinegar coming out.
It's actually funny because if we would have done this, if we would have started last year with this, I don't think there would have ever been a situation where we agree on the Raiders. Definitely twice in a row because we agreed on them last week and we're gonna do it
Right.
again, which is kind of crazy. And they're both good matchups. Like a lot of people would have took the Ravens as well, and I'm gonna take the Raiders as well here. For everything Tim mentioned, I think defensive wise, it's gonna be a harder matchup for the Raiders, but also too, I don't think the Steelers have the firepower on offense to match what the Raiders have, and the Raiders have a very good, stout defense this year. Well, at least what they proved in Week 1. Let's hope it's not a Week 1 fluke. But they're
Mm-hmm.
also going to Pittsburgh. Another thing that's concerning as well, but I don't think it's too much of a concern for the Raiders, is Josh Jacobs will be out of the game. Now, a lot of people could get worried right away, but I do like Kenyon Drake. Kenyon Drake has been proven to be a number one back in this league. I think he's solidified. I think he brings another aspect to the game as well, which is he's a better receiving back in my mind than Jacobs is, and that could be Derek Carr's get off on third downs when they'll probably be facing it a lot against that defense. And if you're not going to find no one deep, Drake is going to be your guy right there. Now let's dive into the next one, which I think is a kind of a simple game as well, but Tim might think different. Rams versus the Colts.
Rams, Colts. Yet again, another one of these matchups where the Colts defense is, you probably trust a tad bit more in them than you do in their offense, because you just don't know what you're going to get with Carson Wentz. Do you believe in him? Do you not? They do have weapons on that side of the ball. When their O line is healthy, got their best player on the field, Mr. Nelson. Taylor in the backfield. They have a lot of pieces, but with this matchup, I'm going to go with the Rams just because I think Matthew Stafford and this team is just going to continue to just get better as the season, goes. They're going to have hiccups, but they're going to get better as the season goes. I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah, and I'm not going to fall in that trap again. Last week I took the Colts over the Seahawks, and why would I do that this week when I find the Rams a better team than the Seahawks?
Mhm.
The Colts just seemed they couldn't find any life on offense. Now that's due to they didn't have their O line, and surprising, Eric Fisher, former Chief, he practiced all week and crazy 8 months off of an Achilles injury, and he's practicing fully. I don't know if he'll play in this game, but for the future, that's a huge addition. If that line is solidified and keeps Carson Wentz upright from not getting hit, the thing that
Mhm.
just concerns me with the Colts and watching it was they don't got really any outside threats that can scare you. They do got a good running game with Naheem Hines and Jonathan Taylor, but for Carson Wentz to throw around the field, I don't trust Pittman as much as what I did going into Week 1. Pascal, he's a good end zone threat, but can he drive the ball down? And Doyle, I don't consider him a top 5 tight end, even though he can get his yards. Now the Rams, man, they could be one of the best team, if not the best team in the NFC. Stafford, he looks at home. He looks like he finally has a chance to win a Super Bowl, and that's just something he's been waiting for the last 10 years. And I think that's a great situation for him. And that defense is just too scary. We talk about the Colts defense. I think the Rams is just better. So I think they're just better all around football team.
They get
Now
it done this
we're
week.
gonna go into wait, what was that?
They get it done this week.
Oh yeah. Easily. Now another sleeping type of team. Like I don't think no one's gonna watch this game or anything like that. But they got a chance to go 2-0. So we got the Broncos versus the Jags. What you taking? You took Trevor Lawrence last week. You doing it again?
versus the Broncos. Let me go with the matchup. You got if you got Mr. Sunshine out there with the Broncos defense. I think I trust the Broncos defense a tad bit more than I trust that offense, but anything can happen. Hmm. Let's just stop pretending. I'm gonna go with Sunshine again. I think they're gonna be able to pull it around. They're gonna
Whoa,
go 1-1.
shit. Okay.
Watch. I got I don't know why, but I got a feeling they're gonna pull it
Okay.
out like pull a rabbit out of the hat on everybody. Watch them kind of do some things that you might be like, wow, that. Now, if we were seeing that from the beginning, we would all be on the bandwagon. But they might pull a hat out. They might pull out something from the hat. Who you
This
got?
is something I really wanted to edge with you. Like I really wanted to go Jacksonville, but it's something I have to see on first in the field, and it's nothing to do with Trevor Lawrence. I know he's got all the talent. It's that coaching staff. And I don't know if they're calling the right plays for that team to succeed because you got, I believe, a top 10 running back on your team and they barely ran him. And when Trevor Lawrence is going to
Uh,
struggle, you need to run the football. And you put Trevor Lawrence in a lot of situations last week where he ended up throwing interceptions, which is not like him. And if you're just going to take the running game away, that's putting too much pressure on him. So I want to believe in the Jacksonville Jaguars. I really do. But I don't I don't right now, and I'm gonna go Denver. Denver's got a really good defense, and they got a really good game manager quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater, which
uh,
I think is what they need to succeed. Let's not play out that Jerry Judy will be out the next 6 to 8 weeks. That is huge. So they need someone to step up, but they got the piece in KJ Hamler. Let's see if he does that. But I'm gonna slide my pick with the Broncos. Now diving in next, we got
uh,
the Cleveland Browns versus the Houston Texans.
Browns, Texans, Browns, Texans, Browns. I'm going with the Browns. Um, the Browns are like the same thing. They're probably going to be the same story all season. When they're on, they're on. If they're off, they're off. They did not have Odell last week. Let's see how they're going to continue to move him in and progress him into the offense as they go. Is it going to be one of those inch him in, inch him in, inch him in kind of things, or are we going to put him in here and see what he got? But if he's definitely playing this week, I'm definitely going with the Browns. I just don't think they're gonna be crap all season and just ride L's for the entire duration. They're gonna win games that they're supposed to win. Now, don't get me wrong, the Texans defense can definitely put it to them a tad, but they just got too much weapons. They got too much firepower to be able to just completely stop them. Now, if the game is close, that's just where you don't want to believe in the Browns because Baker Mayfield has yet to show that. Like he can go down and show you like, yo, if the ball's in my hand, it's the end of the game. Let me go deliver. We haven't seen that from him yet, but it's only a matter of time. I'm going with the Browns.
So I think this is blowout city written all over it. I think Cleveland gonna destroy these boys. And I took the shocker last week. I took Texans to beat the Jaguars just because I love that matchup. For the
Mm-hmm.
Texans in this one, I hate this matchup. Let's not play. The Browns are a legit team. They played one of the best, if not the best football team in the league last week in the Chiefs, and they held their own. And I think they're going to come out really pissed that they lost this game. And I just don't think Houston stands a chance. I just
Nope.
think it's that simple.
Nope.
And our next one, which I kind of want to put on upset alert, but I won't. We got the Patriots visiting the Jets. What you thinking?
What you talking about? An upset for the Jets?
I was thinking about it.
Yeah, you can only do that. Just only think about it. This one's pretty much in hand. I'm going with them Pats over them Jets. Uh, Bill Belichick is going to do what Bill Belichick does. He's going to take the one thing that they can do or their strength and take it away and then force them to do something else. So I don't think they have a second or even third option to go from their primary option, not going against that team.
Yeah, so like I said, I thought about it, but I can't fall too far behind in my standings right now. I'm one game behind Tim. That's not a risk I'm willing to take. I'm going to take the Patriots, but also it's just I believe in Zach Wilson. I just don't believe in the team around him right now. In
Uh-uh.
New England, they got a stout defense, and I think he's just too young to like master and get around it. And Mac Jones, he's precise. I think he'll do enough to win this football game. Now let's see what we got next. Oh, this is an interesting one too. These are where these games start getting real interesting, where it could be a coin flip. We got the Saints visiting the Panthers.
Saints, Panthers, divisional matchup. Run CMC out there versus that Saints defense. I'm sorry. The Panthers don't have J Bo. I'm going with J Bo. You gotta believe in it. I'm on it right now. Like let me call it right now. Today. You heard it from me. I'm gonna say it. J Bo gonna be in the MVP conversation
Oh shit.
by the end of the season.
Oh
I think he's
damn.
gonna. I think him and Sean Payton, like you match him up with quarterback whisperer, the guy. Let's just be real. He went 30 for 30. Yes, when he played his last full season, but he still threw for 30 touchdowns. Like let's be in there. He was a little bit reckless, and the one thing Sean Payton is excelente, muy excelente at is getting his quarterbacks not to turn the ball over. And that's pretty much Jameis's big problem. He fixes that problem. That dude still tosses with the best of them. Let's be real. He's gonna ball out. So don't be surprised we see J-Bo in the running for MVP at the end of the year. Saints in this one.
So this one was like a harder one for me to pick, just because the Panthers play the Saints very well and actually have beaten the Saints in prior years, and I do like them. I don't know. They kind of struggled to the Jets with me. They did pull it off at the end, and the Panthers do got pieces. I just need to see Darnold like a full length. God damn. My bad, y'all. An alarm went off. Anyways.
Did your phone try to stop you from
Anyways.
about to tell a lie, so don't try.
I think it was like it's like stop talking about him. But like the Panthers do got weapons, of course. Like he said, run CMC. You got DJ Moore. You got Robbie Anderson. They got Terrace Marshall Jr. from LSU. I just think they're too young right now, but as well, the Saints do got questions as well. Yeah, I do like Jameis, and I do think he is a good starting quarterback. They do got a lot of unanswered pieces. Tim loves talking about them, but we got to see more of a length of
Mm-hmm.
history throughout the season with them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like Alvin Kamara too. I think it's gonna be a close game. I'm gonna edge it for the Saints.
Yeah,
I'm gonna edge
yeah,
it for the
yeah.
Saints.
Yeah, stop pretending like you wasn't. You taking them. You know you taking them. Take it to the
Don't
bank.
be surprised though. Carolina can win this game.
It can be a close game,
Now,
as all good divisional games are, but Saints.
Now this one will be a fun one. I know Tim will love it. We got the
Mm-hmm.
Cowboys going to his city, LA. How Charger gonna react?
Look here. Watch for this pairing in the league. It's probably it's to be honest with you, I'm gonna just flat out say it. It's the most underrated, most slept on quarterback wide receiver duo in the league. You got hurt, man. Now I got
you
flies
got
entering
you
the
got
picture,
see? Yeah, see,
right?
you telling lies too.
That's like a sign from somewhere. Like, don't even try. Look, let's just be real. It's an underrated pairing with Herbie and Slayer. And if you don't know who Slayer is, it's Keenan Allen. The man's route running ability. Just stop sleeping on it. This game will be fireworks. I just honestly think it'll be fireworks. I don't think we're gonna figure out how to be able to completely slow down Dak with all his weapons and him getting back their best player and their O line solidifying, and this is going to be a close game. And I wouldn't be surprised if we did lose by 3 to the Cowboys in the end. In true Chargers fashion, we give you that good game where we're leading and we're like, oh, we're going to win, and then boom, 3 points or 2 points, or they kick a field goal at the last second and win by 1 point. But
So I do like the Chargers.
yes,
I like the
wish we could
Chargers in
have.
this one. With that though, if you're a Cowboys fan, I wouldn't be too worried because you play 2 hard games to start your season out, and then your
Uh,
schedule gets really easy. Like you don't play another playoff team till like mid-November. So just because you start off on 1-2, it's not the end of the world. Yes, I know playoffs get harder, but also this is a longer season as well. Your
mm-hmm,
schedule gets easier. I just think the Chargers are a better team, offensive power. Defensive power, I think, is where it takes it over. Chargers can end up having a top 5 defense in my eyes by end of season. And yeah, Cowboys got players and all that, but they lost a big one in DeMarcus Lawrence, so I don't know who's
mm-hmm,
going to go after Herbert now rushing the passer. They already have a
mm-hmm.
terrible secondary as it is. This will be a high-scoring game. I do believe that. I just believe it'll be like the Bucks. I don't think Dak can win a shootout. just this early in the year. So I'm gonna edge
Let
it for the Chargers.
me ask: are you starting them this week?
Yeah, I am starting them this
I'm
week.
starting. Yeah, I'm starting Keenan. I'm gonna get all them
So
points.
it better not bite me in the ass like it did last week. That's all I gotta say.
I'm definitely taking them points off you too.
Cause that hurt. I thought about trading him. I'm not gonna lie. I really thought about hitting you up, and I was like, "Hey, give me Matthew Stafford." I
I'm
really
not gonna
thought
lie.
about it.
I would
Yeah,
consider
I see that.
that.
I knew that
Honestly,
would
I
make you
would.
think too.
I
I
honestly
knew that
would
would make you
consider
think.
that. I would honestly consider that.
Well, let's see what happens then. Um, Next one. Where are we at? Oh, we at the Seahawks and the Tennessee Titans. You take.
Seahawks, Tennessee Titans. Titans. Let's be real. Yeah, you guys got to figure some stuff out and play true to who you are. You guys haven't been doing that lately, and let's be real. Dangerous and these Seahawks with that performance last game, they were just continuing to prove why they do what they do. They're really explosive on that offensive side. Now, defense could be the part where they're not so great at, but Titans, you got to figure it out. Run Henry. If you run Henry, you'll win. You can't get the run going, you're not going to win. I got to take the Seahawks. There's more ways that the Seahawks could beat them than the Titans could beat them. Now, don't get me wrong. If Derrick Henry goes
So
off, it's it's probably Titans, but there's too many different ways the Seahawks can beat them.
So I don't know why I didn't put two and two together at start of season, and I probably should have because we even talked about it too. Um, this could be a down year for Tennessee, and I know it's just week one. We don't want to dive too much and overreact, but we need to pay more attention to the Titans losing their offensive coordinator and being the Falcons head coach because he is the only coordinator Ryan Tannehill has ever looked like an MVP quarterback with. And he struggled a lot without him. And like I said, we don't want to overreact because it's week one, but he might miss him a lot this year because
Mhm.
it's not like just because it's easy for me to dive into. So I'll talk Chiefs aspects with Reed and Bieniemy. Like Reed helps out a lot with the play calling. It's not the same as in Tennessee because Vrabel is a defensive mind. So that OC has every play call. And he could be calling way different plays than what Arthur Smith was. And if that's the
Mhm.
case, Tannehill might look like he was in Miami. And OCs make a quarterback a lot of the time. So we need to see how the season goes down. But I'm surprised that didn't click in with me sooner and than it
Mhm.
did later.
Mhm.
I'm definitely taking Seattle and Tennessee as well. Man, if you look down their schedule, like 7 of their first 9 games are playoff teams. They got a
Mhm.
hard ass schedule. They're going to be
Mhm.
struggling. And they need to
Mhm.
find a way to make it click against one of these teams or they might be one of the worst teams this year if the OC ain't clicking and if they can't overcome the schedule.
Yeah, because it seemed like they got a lot of throwing folks under the bus over there. It seemed like Julio,
Yeah,
Rabel, like they're button heads. It seems
exactly.
already. Or Rabel's just going at him because that's just how he is. And let's just see how they come to, clear that thing out and then go put the product on the field.
And like, let's be real. We know Vrabel's that type of coach. We've seen it before him do that with other players, but we never seen Julio attacked as well either. So it's do you come back from a big bounce back game from what you did last week, or are you like hidden in the playbook and in the shell trying to learn all of that? And I do think he could bounce back, but as well, it's like I don't remember in Atlanta him ever being attacked. I remember him always be praised because he's like a god to them. So this is new territory for him as well.
But they do need to. There's a reason they brought him on. They need to play. They need to play to his strengths and add that to what they do well. If they get back to what they do, let's be real. You're running Henry. The play action pass is there for him. Like he might get fewer targets, but your per catch yardage is going to go through the roof if you're blowing the top off of the defense. If they're stacking the box, you just imagine the matchups that you're going to get. So he's going to need to buy in, but at the same time, the team is going to need to be able to add elements in that showcase his strengths. So it's a win-win on both sides. They can't do that, then they're going to have problems all season.
Yeah, they definitely will. And we're going to dive into the next game, which, surprising enough as it is, this team has a chance to go 2-0, and like they're a young team. No one really believes in them, but we got the Cincinnati Bengals and the Chicago Bears. What's your take?
Ooh. Watch out for them potentially, Dalton getting booed and Fields coming in. I'm just waiting on it. It's a matter of like time now. It's either this week or next week. If this week goes bad, he's definitely starting next week. They're saying they're gonna bring him along slowly, but if it's not this week, they're probably gonna just rush him in there and put him in there and just build a playbook around him and just kind of boot him in slowly. But I just like the Bengals matchup. They're proving that the weapons and the pieces that they have can be dangerous. And Joe Burrow is a surgeon out there. He's a very very solid pickup. I would just like to see him with a stronger line, better protection, and to allow him to be able to survey the field and get the ball out there, shredding up their defenses. But till they figure that part out, the team's going to be a tad bit handicapped. But once they do, man, they got the weapons. They do. They definitely do. Chase went for 100 after we were all thinking he couldn't catch.
Yep.
And he came and he
Yep.
saw it. He conquered. He conquered in week one. He looked very good, very well, very well. Bengals in this one.
Yeah. We all talk bad about the boy, saying like he ain't a receiver. He's gonna be one of those flops. He's not worth a top five pick. They
Uh-huh.
should have took Panay Sewell to restructure that line.
Yeah, they probably still
They
should
knew
have.
what they was doing. Apparently, they probably still should have, but you got these what college sweethearts together again from LSU. They look like they haven't lost a beat. I don't know what he was doing in preseason, but I'm glad he didn't bring it to regular season. And like they got Tyler Boyd and they got T Higgins as well and Joe Mixon. Yeah, that line is iffy. I love him in this game, and I think this
Mhm.
game could be the game that Justin Fields might come in the second half, just because I think Cincinnati can get up early, and I think Bear fans will be so upset that a team like Cincinnati is going to be up on them, and I don't think the coach Nagy can hear that. And I forgot if this is a home game or not. If it's especially a home game, yeah, Fields is going to come in. And he came in a little last week, but that was just for a 1 yard touchdown run. He needs to be in. And definitely this coach's job is on the line. Even
Uh-huh.
at that, it depends on when he comes in, because I'm still gonna roll with Cincinnati, but we've seen this before too, where like a quarterback will come in and come from behind and win a game because that's just the momentum. The crowd's behind it; it goes crazy. But I can't predict on when he's gonna come in the game. So right now, I just got to go strictly off the matchup, and I think Cincinnati's just a better matchup, and I think they'll win the game. And also, that Bears defense isn't that Bears defense we're used to. It's not what's gonna hold them down. So if you got a terrible O and a terrible defense, you're bound to lose a lot of games.
Yeah, add some pieces. You got to add some more pieces. Figure out where you're going to go. I definitely say put Fields in there. He brings in a level of intensity that offense can need. It's a jolt in the arm that they could definitely use. Put Fields in the game. Stop pretending.
Yeah. Now, our next game up, we got the Buffalo Bills taking on the Miami Dolphins. I don't even know what you
Bills,
thinking.
Dolphins, Bills, Dolphins. Now I can break it down and just go down to one matchup. Who do you think wins the matchup between Howard and Diggs? Whoever wins that matchup, that'll be one of the key factors in that game.
No, it'll be strong. Diggs struggled week one.
Mhm.
Um, it's gonna be good. I don't know. I'd
I
have to
just
edge it
don't.
to Howard, but
They match up
I don't know
very
if
well,
that
and it's one of those
that's
games you just don't want to touch, right?
yeah.
But the chances of Josh Allen playing like how he did last week, he just looked like he was just
It's
rushing things and
I think
being very
that's slim
impatient
too.
and got out of character. If he calms down this week, he's gonna come in. He's gonna get back to what we've grown accustomed to seeing him do over from last season, carry it on until now. I got the Bills winning it, but it's gonna be close, very close, like
Yeah, I got the Bills winning it
17-21
too.
type game.
It is this is the divisional game that'll be like I think within 3 points as well. I don't think this is an easy one to choose. If you're betting, I wouldn't even touch it. Like it's that type of game.
Uh-huh.
But like you mentioned, like Miami's defense is very strong, and I think if I had to choose, what it would really come down to is maybe the run game. And I like Singletary better than Gaskins, even though Gaskins is a good running back.
Uh-huh.
Singletary's elusive and explosive as well, and I think Miami's secondary is strong. Their D line is strong, but not as strong as their secondary in my eyes. And if they could break like 5 to 8 yard runs, and that opens up play action. That could be something to watch out in this game, especially Josh Allen loves to use his legs as well. So
Mm-hmm.
if it becomes one of those games where they're chasing him around,
Design runs.
I gotta edge it just because Tua doesn't have that capability as of right now where he's that mobile. That could be because he's protecting his hip and he's still concerned with the injury. But we haven't
Mm-hmm.
seen that on the field as well either. Um, Fuller is not gonna play. He's dealing with I don't want to say it like I'm trying to think of a better way to say it, but I don't say it like mental problems. So he's taken out for this game. I don't. This
Okay.
sounds messed up, but that's what it is. So expect
It's a
and
refresh day.
yeah, and expect a lot of Jalen Waddle. I've been hyping him up all off season. He balled out week one. Man, I just think he's gonna be rookie of the year. Like the way it's looking like right now. He had so many targets. Tua loves him to another college like
Number
soulmates.
Chase
Yeah, another
and
college
Pitts if they
soulmates.
figure it out.
Yeah, like I think those two but if I'm choosing a receiver, I just like Waddle. Like Waddle is like a all around receiver to me. Don't get
Mm-hmm.
me wrong with Chase. Like I think it'll be very close, but I don't know. I just like Waddle and how he looks. He's a really good receiver in my eyes.
Strong pick.
Let's see. Oh, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We got the Atlanta Falcons. Did you see what
Bugs.
Brady did in his like little victory video?
Bugs.
Did you see that though?
No, I did not.
So he was it was after their win. Every time after he wins, he does like a little hype video. But he thought he was slick. It wasn't even slick. We all caught it. His computer on the background because it was ready for Falcons week, like right behind his shoulder. The clock, it was set at 3:28, reminding everybody of the Super Bowl. I'm like, man, this guy here, this guy here.
Trolling on another level. Trolling. He's even the go at trolling. That's a troll right there. That's so bad.
Like it was literally right over his shoulder. Like people,
Hmm.
everyone noticed it. They didn't care what he was saying. They're like, really, really, we
Uh,
doing this. Maybe that
okay.
gives the Falcons motivation, but it doesn't. Like
No,
the Bucks are too powerful. Like this is a simple one, guys. Don't overthink it. Like don't
no.
even think about it. Honestly, like it's that easy. Like we actually just gonna move on. Um,
Pretty much. Let's be real.
we got the Niners and the Philadelphia Eagles next.
Niners, Eagles. Oh my goodness, man! Hurts and Smith. Ooh,
Another
they
good
look like
combination.
they were starting to they were cooking out there. They were starting to figure out some things and getting some things in line. Um, Out of these two, seriously, well, that's a fun little toss up game. But just for fun, I'm going with the Eagles. Don't be
Ooh,
surprised. Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised.
I
That's one of
like it.
them toss up games, and I'm starting to I'm smelling the sauce. I'm basically the Philly get the cheesesteaks ready. Get the cheesesteaks ready.
I
That's how
like
I'm
it.
gonna
I'm not as high as you want it though. I'm gonna go.
do
I'm gonna go the
it.
Niners, but I don't think it's too crazy. The Eagles prove they do got weapons on offense with Devontae Smith, Jalen Rager balled out too as well. Hurts looked really good and efficient. Um, Niners defense, I do believe they'll rebound. I don't like how they ended the game against the Lions. You was winning like what 41 to 10, 17 or something, and you almost let them back in the game and win. But that's
Mhm,
what garbage time does when you let your gas off the pedal. When you leave your foot off the pedal, like teams come back. Like maybe they learned something from that as well. I know Tim's concerned about their running game, but I like Elijah Mitchell. I like Jimmy G. I like Debo Samuel. I think this is going to be a good game. I'm going to edge out with the Niners on this one. Now I think we diving into Sunday night football. We got
mhm.
Chiefs going to Baltimore. Hot takes.
Yeah. Let's be real. This is like if you're gonna drag race with a Hellcat and you got a Pinto on the other side. I'm sorry, the Rams are so like handicapped right now. They're so banged, battered, and beat up. They
Ravens.
were you thought the Raiders were bad. Imagine the best team in that division. They're like the Chiefs are that times 10. So if you had problems keeping up with the Raiders, you're gonna have Haven trying to keep up with these Chiefs. It's not gonna be fun.
Chiefs and Ravens. Of course, I'm gonna take the Chiefs, but this game's kind of concerning just because, like, as much as Lamar doesn't want to
Mm,
think it's about him and Mahomes, I know there's something in his heart, actually probably his full heart, that knows he needs to win this game, and that's kind of concerning because when player, definitely with Harbaugh too, like Harbaugh struggling against Andy Reid, I think they're tired of hearing that, and I won't be surprised if it's a
right.
closer game than what people say. But as well, Chiefs, like you say, got too much firepower. I think the Ravens lost another cornerback this week as well. Kelsey and Hill gonna have a field day. Um,
Mm,
but this is not gonna be the
that's
same
good.
team we saw in Cleveland, just for the fact we gave up a lot of yards after carry and we gave up a lot of points. We still might do that just because Ravens are explosive, but we get Frank Clark back and we get the Honey Badger back. Those are our two main pieces on defense. And
Mm,
we were missing them and we still found a way to win. I think
very
we'll
true.
be better on defense this week. And I just think as of now, I think this is a bad matchup for the Ravens. Maybe if it was later in the year, they could pull this off. But right now, with everything that's going on, I think the Chiefs are too much.
Hmm.
So I'm going to edge it for them. Now we gonna close it off
Definitely agreeing on that.
with the
It's just
surprise pick. I'm taking the Lions over the Packers. Nah, I'm
Mhm.
not. But we got the Packers playing the Lions. Go for it,
I
son.
was about to say, you're out your mind. Now, I'm gonna say it again. RELAX. Relax, 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 relax. Rogers not gonna have a crappy game again. If he does,
Definitely against the
that tells
Lions.
you everything about how the rest of the season is gonna go. I doubt he has a crappy game. I doubt he has a crappy game. It's that's probably one of the worst games you've ever seen him play. Scratch that. That probably was the worst game you ever seen him play. The chances of that happening again, slim to none. It's one of those tune-up kind of games, like how they use in college. With the first week, they play some Division II school and they whoop them, and then they go into their regular season like, okay, we feel a little bit better about ourselves.
Yeah, I don't. This is
This is
another one you
definitely a
can't
game for
really
the
talk
Packers.
much about. Like, I just don't see how the Packers could lose this game. Wait, hold up. We're just getting all this stuff right now. Okay, that
Mhm.
was on me this time. Anyways, we'll get back to that. I'm gonna have a random FaceTime call popping up on my computer. Um, so
Pretty
again,
much.
I don't know if there's much to say with the Packers and Lions. Like, I'd be shocked if Aaron Rodgers loses this game. Even like I just don't know how Lions didn't even look good against the Niners last week until the end, and that was all garbage time. Maybe they'll look good in garbage time again. I don't know, but I just don't have much to say about this. I might watch Peyton and Eli's take on it on ESPN2 to see how they be. They be funny. They be having their own broadcast on Monday night. They might make this interesting. But as for that, there's
Yeah,
no
that'd
other
be the
reason
most
to watch
interesting
this
thing
game in
about it.
my eyes. Like, none.
And then we're gonna find a way to sauce it up for for people to actually tune
Yeah.
in. But yeah, Packers, you got to take this.
And
That's it. That's all. There's nothing. There's
and as for
win.
that, that will
That's
wrap
it.
it up. Right now, it's looking like we were basically almost alike on all of our picks, besides you taking the Jags over the Broncos and then the Eagles over the Niners. So we are different on two of them. So
Hmm.
those will be very close.
Hmm.
That'll decide who wins this
Hmm.
week. I ain't
Yep.
going down like that.
Hmm.
I'm getting this.
Watch how
It
this
ain't
works.
happening again. It ain't
He said,
happening
"I'm not going
again.
to."
But I will
Not two
post
for
them like I
two.
did last week on Facebook and Instagram so you guys keep up to date on our picks and see how we do. I'm pretty sure we both are going to do very solid this week, but be sure as well to subscribe to the channel and look at our pages as well so you see our picks. Maybe you guys like our picks and want to take bets on them. I don't recommend it. We are not professional. We are very unprofessional with our stuff. We are not licensed. We are not licensed, so I don't need
So we are
anyone in
not.
the comments to come back and say, "Hey, I bet it because you chose that." That's on you. That's not on us. So thank you guys.
Said it's your
So
fault.
thank you
It's
guys
your
for
fault.
checking in
Take
again. You know we
responsibility.
are the Water Boys. Like I said, do like this video, do subscribe, and with that, take care. Peace.